What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Litecoin today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Let's get into it. Okay, let's talk about the price here. Here we are at about $127. Okay, looking at the daily time frame, things are looking pretty fierce. Looks like any moment now, any day, you are going to break out, and I don't think it's a question as to which side you're going to break out, right? If you look at this range for what it is, you take the top here, you shave it down. You take the bottom here, you shave it down. Oftentimes with these lines, you might find support on them once, maybe twice, maybe 3 times at most. But if you find support 4 or 5 times, you're probably going to break through it to the downside, right? It's not the bottom side that we're finding support on 4 or 5 times. It's the top side that we found resistance on about 5 times, maybe 6 times, depending on how you want to look at it, but a lot. We're hugging this area. We're not having a hard time hugging this area. We are having a hard time finding anything near this area with that doesn't just bounce immediately. So I'm thinking it's no question right now as to which side we want to break out on this range, but when is it going to happen? That's kind of the question. So looking at this thing on let's look at the 1 hour time frame. The 1 hour RSI, I don't want to say it looks bearish. It looks kind of neutral, right? Lower highs, higher lows, kind of neutral in this pattern, in which case you might expect to bounce literally right here. I bet by the time most of you guys watch this, we'll see. Let me look at that on the 15-minute time frame real quick. I think you do. Yeah, I think you bounce right here. Let's see what's the. Oh yeah, buddy, you're doing it. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I bet you bounce right here, man. That was the low of the day. Good job, you got it out of the way. Move down, volume dying off as you went down. This looks like a nice kind of, I forget what they call it, but it looks like an abandoned baby, but it's not that. There's some other pattern that's not an abandoned baby, but it looks just like it. This looks really good. It's a nice reversal signal on the 15-minute RSI, which is not significant at all, but significant still, relatively speaking. Finding support at these areas, right? Getting overbought, not getting oversold. I think that's a good look. 1 hour time frame. Though you are getting oversold here and you weren't getting overbought, that's not necessarily encouraged, but you're relatively neutral overall, and you look like you want to actually start moving up from here, relatively speaking. I think that you do. Let me look at this low to high real quick. Low to high here. Golden ratio continuing to find support. Yeah, you look productive, man. You do. You look productive. Hold this line. If not, you might drop down to about 120. Maybe 125, 120, but you're at 127 now, so that's nothing crazy, right? You've been through worse, Litecoin. We'll just leave it at that. But if you go lower, sure, that's where I'd see you going. 4 hour RSI kind of reminds me of the 1 hour. Looks like it's consolidating, rather neutral, but the 1 hour's in a more bearish posturing, where the 4 hours in a more bullish posturing. So that's a good thing, right? That actually agrees. The 4 hours more significant of a time frame, anyways. And then of course just the daily time frame. You look at this; it seems so obvious that you're going to move out. Okay, so for a time, you were finding support at the 40 time and time again, finding resistance at the 60 time and time again, with this one little blemish as an exception. Here, you're kind of living above the 50, doing things differently. It's as if you were coiled up and getting ready to see some expansion into that overbought zone. I suspect this next move, the next time that you're in the overbought zone on a daily basis, it'll be a deeper reading than anything you've seen probably since March of last year. That's wild, man. You're going to see, I think that you are going to see a big move here. And probably the biggest move that you've seen all cycle too, right? Not just the biggest move on a daily RSI basis, but the biggest move from like a cycle basis. I think it's coming right now. And of course it would, because here, while this was your biggest move here, most pronounced kind of largest move that you moved up without pulling back at all, right? This was nice, and it took you above these highs that you were held down by for so long, but all you did was basically consolidate in this area. Whenever you break out for real, which that's this next move, I think you're going to get a for real breakout type of move. It's not going to take you 4 weeks to move up 100%. What was this? Let's see, from a low here to a high. Yeah, it's not going to take you 4 or 5 weeks just to break 100%. No, it's going to take you like 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, right? And you'll be doing hundreds of percents. And I mean, probably overall it takes 4 to 6 weeks, but I'm just saying in a week's time, not in a week's time from here, but you will have weeks that do much more growth than these weeks do, just standalone weeks by themselves. I'm expecting that the minimum target you go to Litecoin, I mean, technically could be around this resistance point. That's a $238 price, but I don't think you stop there. The real minimum target is probably, truthfully, around like $280, $270, somewhere in that area. 116% move up from here, with a real solid chance of seeing prices not just above 300 but above 400 as well. I have a feeling that when you break out of this, whenever it's all said and done, when it's the end of March, early April, mid-April, whatever, you are going to be, if not above $400, somewhere very near there. That's what I think, right? At the very least, above 250, 270, that area. But I truly do suspect that you'll be reaching for that $400 area in the coming days, coming weeks, coming month and a half, something like that, right? When Litecoin moves up, you guys, it likes to move up at a pretty consistent rate. This thing can move up with ease if it wants to, but it's been consolidating for a while. So we're about to see not just a breakout, not just this consolidation phase has been consolidating for a while. We're not just going to see the breakout here, but once you break out of this level with these higher lows cycle after cycle, with this flat top cycle after cycle, once you break out of this, you guys, as phenomenal as this next move by the end of March, middle of April is going to be, it's not anything compared to what's coming afterwards, right? The exciting move is what happens when we're at new all-time highs, and we're on our way there. It's going to happen. I want to look at the ribbon real quick. MA exponential ribbon here, yeah. So if we look at the ribbon, this is what I wanted to look for. So we're on the monthly time frame right now. Looking at the monthly ribbon, you can see a couple of things, right? You've got this yellow line, you've got the red line, everything in between. These are just moving averages, right? So from a 20 down to a 55, stuff like that, that's what it is on a monthly basis. Whenever it crosses down, when the yellow line crosses down, that's a bad thing. But it crossed down here, and all you did was you move up, and you actually just moved sideways. It's a bad thing to cross, but this kind of behavior disrespects the ribbon. It shows that it might be a false cross. Now you're getting this cross back up. You came down this month to find support at the cross, and you did find support. And it's looking like if we close here at 128 or higher, it's looking like you're going to get a bullish cross on your ribbon. These events, they can be tricky, right? If you have a bullish cross like this one here, you pulled back into your ribbon, you found support, and then you continued. But if you were all the way up here, whenever the cross occurs, you might just pull back down into it, right? Well, here we pulled into it already, checked back once the cross occurred. I think we're geared up to see some miraculous movements, genuinely some bigger movements than we've seen in years, multiple years times, right? The last time that we crossed bullish, we saw a month that was up 42% overall. This next month closed low, we had a big wick, but from the open of the month that got the bullish cross, by the end of that month, it was up overall 58.8%, and then the following month, overall 112% in a 2 months time, right? I'm suspecting that this next month of March will be bigger than these 2 months altogether, okay? Then both of these 2 months here, whenever we had the bullish cross last time, I'm expecting this month of March to be bigger than both of them, right? I'm expecting that we close maybe around here, maybe we close a little bit higher. So what? I think it's going to be bigger. And if it is, if you have 1 month this cycle on the cross that did what 2 months did on the cross, or more than what the 2 months did on the cross last cycle, could there then be a fair point to be made that this could be the cycle where we truly do break out to new all-time highs? Could it be? I want to remind you guys, right? The same thing that I started with the video talking about. Sometimes you find resistance once, sometimes you find it twice, right? You get to 3 times, that's about the maximum limit, right? 4 times, 5 times, no sir, you're going to break it. And we've only got 2, but it's pretty common even after 2 to break through on the 3rd. If we find resistance here, and I think that we will find resistance here, we'll probably consolidate for a few weeks, a month, something like that, and then try again. 4th attempt, here it comes, and we break through. That's it, right? If anybody's hearing that and they're like, well, what about 1, 2, 3, 4? Yeah, well, what about it? It's at different levels each time. It's 1, 1, 1, 1, maybe 2 down here. That'd be your best argument, right? It's just finding higher lows each time. It's not the same. It's not the same at all. And then also relativity. Relativity definitely matters. But $128 now. I think we called that low pretty well. I don't think it's going to go lower than that. I think you're literally at your low right now. I'm going to refresh the page here. Hold on. Come on, come on. LTC on crypto. Yeah. I like the daily RSI too, right? You're getting higher lows here, higher lows there, lower lows in your daily RSI, right? Looking very bullishly charged here as well. Higher lows, or I guess consistent lows right there. That's nice. But living above the 50 most of the time, that's also a really good look there. I don't really know what else to say, guys. I think that it's just a matter of time before this thing breaks out. We can talk about all-time high targets and then end the video there, right? From a high to a low, the last cycle's high to the bear cycle low here. High to a low. The expected move that I would see is about, at least, at a bare minimum, would be $1,700, okay, at a bare minimum. Truthfully, I think that it'll go beyond that as well. But oh wait, I'm sorry, I'm doing this wrong, you guys. It's supposed to be from this high to low, right? Sorry, high to low. What started the pattern? We're in this. It wouldn't make sense here. So the minimum move, I thought that was too. I was like, I thought the minimum move would be 2,000. There we go, 2,100. That's the minimum move. Same fib, 1618. The maximum move I would give is 13K. I don't think that you stop here. I don't think that you stop here. I think most likely what happens is you go somewhere in between, right? That's what I assume is going to happen, right? So something between 2K, 13.5K. Where's the fib area that makes the most sense? In between, we've got this nice area at about 4,500 to 6,300. That's where I think you're going to go. 4,500 to 6,300 by the end of the cycle. Okay. Why do I think this is going to happen? Because Litecoin is a solid layer 1 project, right? It is a proof of work system, and most proof of works that come about in crypto these days, they can get undermined by any kind of mining facility or people with malintent that have a higher hash rate capability than they do. You don't have a lot of room for natural growth if you're going to be a proof of work, because the only way to be established is to have such a high market cap that it's or just have so much hashing power involved that it's not lucrative for the average person to get involved, and that's just hard to build a community up over time, right? So Litecoin's been around for so long that it's been integrated, it's been vetted, it's had the time for people to come in and interest to come in and mining it and stuff like that. It's a more secure system. Proof of work, you guys, really is something special. And it's a dying breed, right? Proof of work coins, they're not something that you see too much, right? Other than, I guess, Caspa is kind of a new, but it's a new type of proof of work, right? Or it's DAG. I think it's the same. It's not the same thing. I know it's more sophisticated. I don't know everything about it though. But I'm getting ahead of myself, man. Litecoin, why is it going to go to these targets? Why do I think that it'll go to 45 to 6,300? It's been consolidating for multiple cycles in a bullish phase of consolidation. Flat top, ascending lows. You can't tell me it's not bullish. It's remained relevant across multiple cycles. It's been around for a very long time and remained relevant. And on top of it all, people are dissing it. Whenever a coin has all these good things going for it and the narrative is negative, that's kind of the fuel to the fire, man. It's going to launch this thing up. I think Litecoin's going to do very well. It's also got some of the most merchant usage, merchant acceptance compared to any other crypto in the space. So all kinds of stuff like that. But I'm just repeating the same rhetoric that I normally do. So I'm going to end the video there. If you guys like the video, hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. 127 now, likely around, I would think, $300 to $400, probably just above $400 by the end of March, if not early April. And then higher targets after that, you guys. It doesn't stop there. We still have a whole bull run to go afterwards, and I think you're going to be worth multiple thousands of dollars by the end of it. So that's all I got. Take it easy. Bye.